Welcome, Hot Wheels fans, to Event 5 of King of the Track. 16 new racers ready to battle, vying for that top spot, that fastest car spot, who will advance to the final tournament at the end of all 10 events. Take a look at all our contestants. A few weird-looking ones today. We'll be the fastest, though. We got the Studerbaker and the Thunderbird Stalker to begin the first race out of the gate. It's the Thunderbird around that first curve. A little bit of ground gained by the Studerbaker, but not enough. And now the lead is stretching away. Take that inside line there. And the Thunderbird will easily take the victory. Look at that replay. The straightness of the Thunderbird through that final piece of track. Not much wiggling at all. They give him that victory. The Funny Car and the Turbulence. Take a look here. It's the Funny Car by a couple of inches out of the gate. The Turbulence has a chance here through this curve. Now a car length behind. The Funny Car staying ahead here, but not gaining any more distance around the curve. And it is the Turbulence. Look at that, a couple of inches ahead, but across the line is the Funny Car coming back, grabbing the victory right out of the hands of the Turbulence at the last second. Look at how close they were. But it was indeed the Funny Car. Look at the Solaire and the Dodge Concept. Both silver cars today, but it is the Solaire out of the gate around that first curve, and it's just an extension of lead for him. A couple of car lengths between them around the final curve here. The Dodge Concept trying to gain some distance on that inside line, but loses it on the final straight, and it will go to the Solaire. Not his best performance, the Dodge Concept, but the Solaire was just too fast. The Funny Car and the Laser Camaro. Taking a look there for a shot at it here. Funny Car out in front by a tiny bit through the first curve. That Camaro's giving him a good run for his money. Now he's going to start to take over the race. Now 3, even 4 car lengths ahead around the final curve, and I think it's all speed from here for the Camaro. No luck for the Funny Car. Around that first curve, it looked close. It looked like the Funny Car was again going to run away with it. But not the case this time. The Camaro was very fast out of that first curve, had the momentum, and held that lead. We got the Fat Fender and the Ford F-150. Who has that more aerodynamic build? Right now it looks like the Ford F-150 around the first curve, and it's just extending that lead. Now a few car lengths ahead around the inside line here, but the Fat Fender is not quick enough, and the Ford 150 is going to take the victory. Moving on to the second round, the quarterfinals. How about the Porsche and the Sidekick? Who is faster from these two? Right now it looks like the Sidekick coming out of the gate, already car length in front. Let's go around that first curve. The Porsche not making up the ground needed. Half a car length behind. Let's go around this second curve. And it looks like the Sidekick's got it. The Porsche trying to make a move at the end here, actually. Oh, but it's not going to work. Unfortunate. I thought it was going to easily be the Sidekick, but it almost ended up being the Porsche in that last straight. The speed bump and the Fighter. Speed bump out into a lead by a little bit, but the Fighter taking it back, especially on this inside line. It's very close here. The speed bump trying to gain that ground. Only a half a car length behind around the inside line, and the speed bump's taking it back. The Fighter trying to fight his way back to the top across the line, but it's not close enough. Very back and forth race here. Take a look at the replay. The Fighter trying to make his way back up to the lead, but it's not going to work because of his slowness on that one curve. Honda Odyssey and the Ford F-150. Two larger cars here. It is the Odyssey, much faster out of the gate than the Ford around the first curve. The Ford trying to make some ground back up, but he's going to have to be faster this last curve if he's going to consider taking the lead back. He is fast, but not fast enough, and the Honda Odyssey will coast to a victory here. Not as close as the other races. Races have been especially close in this event compared to the previous ones, though. The excitement is increasing out here in King of the Track. And we got 8 cars going to the next round. All very fast cars. It's hard to say who has the advantage right now. Honda Odyssey and the Sidekick to start things off here in the quarterfinals. Both heading down the hill towards the first curve. The Sidekick is behind, trying to make up some ground. He's not out of it yet. If he's quick through this inside line, the Odyssey around the outside line still has the lead, but only by a little bit, and just is stretching it out here. Gonna cross a car length ahead. First place. Honda Odyssey will move to the semifinals. And we'll have to face off against 3 other cars, but who will those cars be? Camaro versus the Thunderbird. Who will race their way right into the semifinals? Right now it looks like the Camaro coming out into the lead, going around that inside line, and he will extend the lead by a little bit, but the Thunderbird is certainly not out of it. A good turn here would help him out around the inside line. It is the Thunderbird by a little bit, but the Camaro racing back up. It's neck and neck. But it is the Camaro by a fraction of an inch. Look at the face here at the final finish line. Definitely looked even close to a tie. But it turned out the Camaro was faster. Soler and the speed bump taking a crack out of here. So it's the speed bump here out of the first line. And now, not much to say here. Look at that distance. Didn't even hit the second curve, and it just was already clear who the winner was. Coming across way ahead of the Soler. And that victory was very, very clear. Certainly going to have to watch out for the speed bump here going into the finals. Funny Car and the Ford F-150. 2 very fast cars, but who will take it this time? The Ford F-150 actually out into the lead early, but that Funny Car taking back the lead going into the first turn and actually extended it a little bit, but the Ford giving him a run for his money here as we go to the second curve, taking the lead around the inside line. Is going to take it even further to 3 car lengths. Funny Car making up a little bit of ground, but certainly not enough, and it ends 2 car lengths ahead to the Ford 150. And we head to the semifinals. 4 cars left. Who will be our victor? My eyes are definitely on the speed bump, who really killed it in the semifinals with a great race. Honda Odyssey and the Ford F-150, who will be sent straight to the finals. They are off, and it is close, but the Honda Odyssey, again, out in front by a little bit around that inside line, and the Odyssey's doing a really good job heading to the outside line here. The Ford has a chance through this inside line, but it's not his day. And the Honda Odyssey, by a couple car lengths, is going to grab that victory. Not the best performance for the Ford, but the Honda Odyssey is so fast it's hard to complain. Camaro and the speed bump. Gold versus blue. It's close out of the gate. The speed bump actually lagging behind a little bit. Maybe the last race was just a little bit too easy for him, and the Camaro seems to be running away with this one. Speed bump a little bit into it, has a good chance around the line, but no, not going to work. He didn't have that burst of speed necessary, and it looks like it will be the Honda Odyssey versus the Camaro in the final race of Event 5 at King of the Track. Best 2 out of 3. Who will take the victory is the question. First to win 2 races. Camaro, Honda Odyssey. They are out of the gate. It is the Honda Odyssey with an early lead, but the Camaro is certainly giving her a run for her money as he takes it back here in the second straight. Odyssey trying to have that burst of speed at the end, but it's not enough. And the Camaro, by a considerable length, will take the first race. Odyssey certainly not out of it yet, as she did have that lead for the first third of the race. And so with a good start in the next race, we'll be able to take the victory. We will see. Out of the gate here, they changed lanes. Honda Odyssey a little bit out in front already. The Camaro again on the second straight, taking back the lead. Seems like the curves are very, very good for him around that outside line, and it's all speed for the Camaro. He will cross with the victory, and he will advance to the final round. Only now 5 videos later for the King of the Track Championships. A victory for him here in Event 5. Very fast finish, especially over a fast car like the Honda Odyssey, and we will see you next video for Event 6.